This now, a sigh of relief for Gauteng residents. That's after Rand Water lifted stage 2 restrictions that were imposed, you might remember, last month. The utility says there's been an improvement in the water system, which has stabilised from 30% to above 60% now. Let's get you more on this. Bring in Rand Water spokesperson. That's Makenosi Maroo, who joins us via our video link this morning. Great to see you. Thanks very much indeed for your time. And you bear good news for a change. Tell us to what extent you've been able to solve this particular issue, because we've been told in the past it's never been a concern around whether or not we have enough water, but it's about whether or not the infrastructure in place is able to get water from the dams to people's taps.
Good morning, Ayanda. Indeed, we're coming here bearing good news. You'll recall that a few weeks ago we implemented stage 2 restrictions, and that did not yield the results that we desired. Then we came up with a second measure where we said we're introducing a flow control management system. This system allowed us to save and to reserve water in our reservoirs. As a result, now we are lifting water restrictions with effective immediately.
Yeah. Were the restrictions impactful? And I don't mean to be flippant, but I mean, unlike Eskom, for instance, where there's someone literally switching off the lights, with water it doesn't really work the same way. So to what extent was that helpful, really?
It was helpful. I think the second control measures really helped, the flow control management system, where we took control in terms of what we're letting out of our reservoirs. That really helped. As a result, we are uplifting restrictions.
All right. Well,
yes.
Part of my first question was around infrastructure issues, which are long-standing, and obviously we know they're going to take some time to fix. To what extent do you reckon that can be solved so that we can prevent a repeat of what's taken place? Because, as I mentioned, we had been told that it wasn't the fact that dams, for instance, are running dangerously low, but we just couldn't get the water to people's taps.
It was not an infrastructure problem. I think we've been on record as Rainwater saying we do maintain our infrastructure. It was high consumption. Between spring and summertime, that's our peak time. So the consumption is quite high during that time. We have been supplying water. I mean, normally we supply over 4,300 million liters a day. We increased that supply to 4,900 million liters a day. So it is a question of consumption more than infrastructure. We do maintain our infrastructure.
That's interesting. The MMC for infrastructure in Joburg, Michael Son, might disagree with that. In fact, he's come out publicly to say something which I dare say is the exact opposite of what you're saying. Are you suggesting that infrastructure is not a problem at all when it comes to supplying water for people in and around Gauteng?
Yes, absolutely. That's what I'm suggesting. That's what I'm saying. We're challenging anyone who thinks that we don't maintain our infrastructure. You can come to our site. You can look at our annual report where we are saying these are the plans. We do maintain our infrastructure. All
right. Well, that's very interesting. I suppose there's an interesting discussion that needs to take place between your officials and those from the city of Joburg. For now, let me thank you for your time. Really do appreciate it. The spokesperson for Rand Water there, Makenosi Maroo, speaking to us there via video link, suggesting there are no infrastructure issues. I must say, this is the first I've ever heard when it comes to, what underpins, water restrictions in especially the city. So we'll try to get to the bottom of that for you. But